Hello, and thank you for joining us for today's webinar, What's on the Horizon for Family Safety Apps Driver Safety. My name is Kelly Long, the Product Marketing Manager at Smith Micro Software, and I'll be co-presenting with our Vice President of Product Management for SafePath, Anup Kaneri. During our webinar today, we'll be discussing how mobile network operators can increase the lifetime value of their family safety apps by extending their service offering to monitor driving behaviors. In this session, Anup and I will be exploring the evolving demand for smartphone-based driver monitoring solutions by parents and families, opportunities consumer-facing brands have by offering driver safety to customers, the advantages of a smartphone-based solution versus an OBD2 hardware system, and how gamification helps increase customer engagement with family safety apps. Anup, if you would, please kick us off.
Thanks, Kelly, for the introduction. I'd like to begin with some background on our family safety suite of our SafePath offering. SafePath Family started out as a location services app for mobile network operators. We developed features like real-time location, geofence solutions with automatic notifications, and many other features. We continue to lead in the space and enhance our location offering. In regards to digital safety, we then augmented the same app with best-in-class parental controls to include screen time limits, apps and web filters, intuitive categories, usage reports, and many others. This provides the peace of mind for today's parents when the kids are online on their favorite devices. We did all of this with a strong focus on delivering cross-platform solutions for Apple and Google devices.
SafePath sounds like a well-rounded family safety app. Using an app-based solution for family safety opens up a lot of opportunities when you think about how often we're using our phones in everyday life.
Exactly. And that brings me to our newest addition to our SafePath family offering. We are taking safety on the road by providing mobile network operators or MNOs with a very comprehensive family safety app that will include monitoring of driving behavior, and we call it SafePath Drive.
Let's take a look at some of the major benefits of expanding the SafePath product line to the road with this new drive functionality.
Parental controls provides digital safety for kids and teenagers. Now, with SafePath Drive, we are extending the lifetime value of the product by keeping the teens, the young adults, the parents, and even grandparents on our platform.
It's pretty cool that one app can be used for 3 generations. Plus, you're adding an extra layer of security to the SafePath family network by extending digital safety to the road. But even though distracted driving is a risk for anyone behind the wheel, the statistics lean towards teen drivers because they have less driving experience and are therefore the most at-risk population for distracted driving related incidents.
That's correct, Kelly. According to research, most dangerous 2 years of the life are between 16 and 17, and that's primarily because of driving. I certainly did not know that when I got behind the wheel. As we outlined in our prior webinar on distracted driving, no matter how well young drivers perform when they're practicing with their parents, once they get independent on the road, we know that there will be distractions, and that's when they are most at risk.
Handing over the keys is a milestone for both parents and teens. How can a drive monitoring app help with making parents more comfortable when the teens are on the road?
Parents agree that a driving safety solution in a form of a smartphone app would help give them the peace of mind. Majority of the families are aware that the current generation of teens have an increased risk of distracted driving and accidents related to smartphone use. 40% of the parents have indicated in our own survey that the teenager has already been involved in a distracted driving related incident. A smartphone app is the solution they are looking for. More than half the parents would use such an app for drive behavior monitoring and notify them when there is a collision. 98% of them indicated that they're willing to pay for it in the form of a subscription, not to mention 30% of them said they'll pay $15 or more for such a service.
These data points certainly show how parents feel about their teens getting behind the wheel. It's also interesting to see their openness to using a digital solution to help them monitor their teens' driving habits and safety. Not only does technology help give parents peace of mind, but it also offers the teen drivers their own piece of equity in developing safer driving habits and feeling safe knowing that they're not entirely alone when they get into a car. Anup, what about the benefits that a driver safety solution could offer to mobile network operators?
We have looked at various third-party market analysis and conducted our own research in this area. We learned from studies have shown that a strong demand of features like drive coaching, automatic journey logs, geofencing, and of course collision detection.
Geofencing is a pretty valuable piece of technology that has so many uses. In our case, SafePath uses geofencing in order to create trusted areas on the map, alerting their parents when a family member arrives at or departs that area. Here's an example of why geofencing is relevant for distracted driving. The Washington Post reported that 87% of parents said that they enforced texting and driving rules, yet 50% admitted that they texted their teenager even though they knew their teenager was driving. And the reason for that is that they're sending the teenager a text saying, "Text me when you get there." While their intentions are good, the parents are still contributing to the distracted driving behavior. And that's where geofencing comes into play. It eliminates the need for those reminder texts. Anup, these stats are specific to a smartphone-based solution. Can you explain why your team decided to build SafePath Drive using a smartphone rather than leveraging an onboard diagnostic system?
OBD2 system was mainly designed in the 80s for vehicle diagnostics and fleet management. Sure, it can detect things like collision, speeding, miles driven, but a smartphone of today can do that too, and many more things like phone usage and driver coaching.
So what I'm hearing is that a drive-based solution targets a different audience than a hardware solution does altogether. Those who are interested in an onboard diagnostic system use it mainly for diagnostics, and the drive monitoring is just an added bonus. It's particularly popular for large fleet management and car enthusiasts. On the other hand, the SafePath Drive app is meant more for the family unit who's concerned with safety on the road, especially parents who are worried about distracted driving. And OBD2 does not monitor phone use while driving.
Yes, and I would add to that is such a product has to be easy to use and easy to onboard. An OBD2 system, which can cost anywhere between $50 to thousands of dollars, have to be purchased for each and every car and plugged it in. It is important to call out that not all cars are compatible with an OBD2 device. With a smartphone app on iOS or Android, families can just download the app, sign up, and they're ready to go. That brings us to our next point. Nowadays, we are acutely aware when we are leaving our home, our work, or anywhere, and our phone is not with us. Phones have essentially become a personal extension of ourselves. Phones are also very personal and not tied to any vehicle. One could be driving a rental car, a friend's car, or a work car and still have his or her phone in the pocket. Smartphones today have a suite of embedded sensors and have good adoption rate across mature mobile markets. With just downloading and installing the app, parents and families can immediately begin monitoring driving behavior for family safety.
All of this information makes sense as to why a mobile network operator should offer a driver safety app to their customers. Now let's get into what that app would look like. We have a short video that highlights how our solution would bring a positive impact to a family.
As a parent, I worry about the safety of my kids when they get behind the wheel or get in a car that one of their friends is driving.
My mom worries about me being distracted while I drive. She thinks all teen drivers are more likely to engage in dangerous driving behaviors like speeding, excessive acceleration, and distracted driving. And after being in the car with my brother, maybe she's right.
While smartphones are one of the leading causes of distracted driving, they can also be part of the solution. The SafePath Drive app allows me to monitor and understand my teens' driving habits. By using the sensors already embedded in my teen's smartphone, the mobile app detects and reports dangerous driving behaviors, such as speeding, hard braking, rapid acceleration, and risky phone use. The app also automatically detects various types of collisions and makes it easy to get help if necessary. Having this information in the palm of my hand gives me peace of mind. Another feature I really like is the personalized drive score. Each driver receives a custom score based on their driving performance. This makes talking to my teen about their driving habits much easier.
I love competing against my family to see who's the safest driver. I've won 2 months in a row.
SafePath Drive from Smith Micro Software is a tech-savvy solution for both parents and teens. This white label app makes it easy for wireless carriers to offer a feature-rich driver safety app to their mobile subscribers. Provide your customers with peace of mind while encouraging safer driving with SafePath Drive.
Thanks for sharing that video with us. Can you talk a little bit about how the app actually works?
Smartphones today come with a suite of sensors like gyroscope, accelerometer, altitude meter, and many others. These sensors continue to get better with every release of a smartphone. Our teams are able to use algorithms to convert these sensor inputs into specific driving events. This data is then visualized in an easy to understand way for the user so that it provides a very good user experience.
In terms of data collection, what sort of actions does the app look for in order to provide useful feedback?
We analyze and inform on high speed, risky phone usage, hard accelerations, turns, location, mode of transportation, and obviously collision detection. Our high speed is sensitive to the speed limit of the road the user has taken.
Well, most of this is pretty self-explanatory, but one question that comes to mind is, in order to avoid risky phone use, does the app disable your phone while you're driving? Similar to how a car prevents you from using certain features unless it's in park.
Let me elaborate a little on risky phone use. For example, if you are moving the phone within the car or even selecting the music on Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, that does not count towards the phone use. The explicit use of apps like texting or any other app similar will count towards your score. We also do not believe in restricting or disabling the phones as the consumers don't like such a restriction.
That's good to know. Now that we understand how the data is collected and which data points are reported, let's review how this information is incorporated into a personalized driving score.
A driving score has many elements that can influence the score. Pretty much like a FICO score, there are always like 5 or 6 elements that have most impact. Our driving score is sensitive to the speed limit. So if a phone is used at 10 miles an hour, it's weighted differently than a phone used at 50 miles or more. We then group all this data by day, by week, by month into charts with a nice user experience. We further show the user a summary of their usage on their scores.
And a drive score takes into account the idea that we need to raise self-awareness and personal responsibility when it comes to risky driving habits. Even as an adult, I know being able to see a breakdown of my score would make me think twice the next time I drive. One great point that was brought up in our previous webinar was how a parent could use the data provided in the personal driver score to have an unbiased conversation with their teenage driver. Instead of saying something like, "Why were you driving so carelessly?" they could say, "I noticed that you had a few aggressive accelerations. Did something happen? Was someone following you too closely?" Letting the data speak for itself allows the parent and teen to have an honest dialogue without making accusations. So the one thing we haven't covered yet is the most requested feature, collision detection. Anup, please tell us about the collision detection feature, its notifications, and the sensitivity of the application.
Collision detection is one of the most important features to get it done right. We spent a lot of time on perfecting this. SafePath Drive recognizes a variety of crashes, including fender benders, T-bones, and rear-end impacts. So once a collision is detected, a user gets a prompt, "Hey, are you okay?" And this could be on the phone or a favorite smartwatch like an Apple Watch or an Android Wear. If there is no response within few seconds, a notification is automatically sent out to family members. We also differentiate between a low-impact collision and a high-impact collision in order to reduce the risk of reporting false positives. We also differentiate between if a phone has fallen within the car or is it a true accident.
Does the phone need to be placed on the dashboard or in a phone holder for the app to detect a collision?
Collision detection is not affected by the placement of the phone within the car. Just as long as it's in the car, it should be good.
That's good because I tend to just throw my phone on the passenger seat or in the cup holder and I go on my way. As an adult driver, this all sounds very appealing to me. While this app sounds very exciting to an adult audience, like myself, if young drivers are unwilling to use the drive monitoring app, how can we increase engagement with them? Can you outline how SafePath Drive's development efforts help increase engagement and compliance without making it feel like an invasion of privacy?
Gamification is one of the most powerful tools that makes parenting helpful, playful, and fun, yet very effective. We believe in positive engagement is such an important element in allowing parents to teach their driving behavior to their children, as well as to drive better user engagement. Children and young adults are already accustomed to how the games on mobile devices operate and are drawn to the rewards and incentives of engaging with them. They are used to competing for rewards and progressing towards a form of recognition that comes along with gaming. We have used these proven gamification elements such as progression and achievement to use badges, points, leaderboards, and progression bars. We use rewards in the form of additional screen time or verbal praises. Personalization is achieved through avatars, personal photos, or nicknames. This is how the app keeps the teens engaged and interested. It also provides an element of fun for the teenager while simultaneously helping them to become a better driver. It is the best of both worlds for any family unit.
I'm sure that family competitions make for interesting dinner table conversations, especially when the teens are outranking their parents. Anup, I really appreciate you taking the time today to outline the SafePath family application and tell us all more about the Drive solution. This all sounds great, but how would a mobile network operator take this to the market?
I'm going to answer this in two parts, Kelly. A driver safety app really can be a turnkey solution that provides value to both MNO and the end user. The driving safety seeks to address the foundational need for many families. Positioning such a brand that provides a real-world solution as trusted advocates for the family builds loyalty and the stickiness to the MNO platform. End users are willing to pay for drive safety services, most as much as a monthly Netflix subscription. Offering these value-added services can increase the average revenue per user for these brands. Several MNOs have launched their solutions on the SafePath platform. The platform supports modularization and customization to meet the MNO needs. SafePath is completely white label enabled and supports co-branding for the carrier. We have strong experience in generating recurring revenue via subscription. We use proven strategies like free trials and digital and SEO marketing. We have product marketing specialists who can work along with our partners to launch and to be successful.
So how about a sneak peek into what's next for the future of family safety apps?
We are doing some interesting work to assist, automate, and augment a day in the life of a user. We want to continue to find new ways of providing value to parents and their families. We realize that members of the families grow older, their lives only get busier. Convenience is another key challenge we want to help parents and their families address. We're using machine learning functionality and some others for things like smart places or create noteworthy events as they drive along.
Well, I'm really looking forward to seeing the next generation features for the SafePath family app. I know your team has a roadmap full of advanced feature sets beyond the AI functionality, and it's always rewarding to present these new technologies to the market.
Thank you, Kelly, and thank you to all the listeners. I would encourage you to reach out to us so we can share a deeper understanding of our capabilities and how you could bring this to market quickly.
Anup, thank you again for providing the solution overview. I hope everyone who listened enjoyed learning about our cross-platform family safety solution. If you'd like to learn more about SafePath, I encourage you to visit our website, and if you would like, we can put you in contact with a product specialist for a demonstration. Additionally, be on the lookout for upcoming product preview videos. Thank you.